I over-exceed my reading challenge last month and I read 11 books! I read 8 physical copies books and 3 ebooks. So let's discuss. The first book that I read last month is Rebel Belle by Richard Hawkins. And if you really love contemporary, because it's a contemporary I think, with kick-ass and a bit of myth within the book, you should grab this. Because before this book, I never even heard of Paladin before, and it's so cool. So I gave this book around 4.5 star. Good job, and I'm excited for the second one. The second book I read last month is Never Never Part 1 and Never Never Part 2 by Colin Hoover and Taryn Fisher. This book frustrates me to the level that I can't even describe it myself. I actually can't tell you what this book is about because you need to dive in without knowing anything. So I gave it 4 stars because it frustrates me that I don't even know what's going on and I can't even predict the last part. The third book that I read last month is probably my most favorite 2015 books because it's sci-fi fantasy. I haven't really read much of sci-fi because it creeps me out actually, yeah. Sorry. It's Zodiac by Romina Russell. It's evolved around the universe when Earth no longer exists and the Zodiac live in their own planet. They have like Leo have like their own planet and Capricorn have like their own planet, and it's so good. It's actually a high fantasy book, so if you really want to dive into this kind of book, make sure you already read the standard fantasy books because it's really hard. It's requires a lot of imagination and energy. So I gave it 4.7 star and I hope you guys read it and tell me how you think about it. So the fourth book that I read last month, it's really close to my heart. It's A Work in Progress by Connor Franta. This book shows me that no matter how long you live on Earth, you have your story and rights to tell them. Although he's like older than me in 1 year, but his story are so inspirational and everything. So I recommend you read it. And I gave it 4.8 star. So Connor, great job and stay awesome. The fifth book that I read last month is a fantasy, magical and parallel universe. It's A Dark Shades of Magic by V.E. Schwab. It's actually an adult fantasy book, new adult fantasy books, and I really loved it. It's about a guy who can travel through parallel universe and he took something that gets shits down, and you can see multiple AUs in this and really open up your eyes. And I gave this little magical sprinkles 4.8 star and I'm so pumped for the second book. The second book cover is here. It's really pretty. The sixth book that I read last month is a totally inspirational book by J.K. Rowling, is A Very Good Life. And this book is too really close to my heart because all the speech and encouragement words, it's really I love it. You guys can guess how much star I gave this. Yes, 5. Enough said. The seventh book that I read last month is also a self-help book. It's 88 Love Life by Diana Ricasari. It's actually the most cutest book ever. 4.5 star and it's really cute, adorable and inspirational. So the last physical copy of the books I read last month is 30 Pretty Things by Michael Fudat. It's a poem book. It's actually an adult poem book, so you know what I mean. I really love it. And I give this also 4.5 star because some of the poem I really hope it's longer. Yeah. So the next part is 3 ebooks that I read. The first one is Never Never Part 2 by Colin Hoover and Taryn Fisher. I also gave it 4 stars because as usual it frustrates me and I can't wait for the last installment. So the second ebook that I read last month is The Other CEO. It's actually from Wattpad books and I really miss Wattpad, so I log in and like try to search the finished books and I read it and I loved it and I gave it 3.5 stars. The last ebook that I read last month is Penthouse Suit, also from Wattpad, and I gave it 4 stars because I loved it overall, just not the epilogue. So that's all for my June wrap up and I hope you guys loved it. If you would like to read all the reviews that I wrote, you can head out to AmeliaaXavier.com or go to my Goodreads. Just search for AmeliaaXavier, or you can follow me on Instagram. It's also AmeliaaXavier. That's all from now. Talk to you next time. Ciao!